Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your brother in the struggle coming right back at you once again. Ladies and gentlemen, remember what I told you on the last video that I made for you about what exactly took place in Texas? And the death toll, as you know, if you've been paying attention, has been going up and it's going to keep going up. Last time I checked, it was 129 deaths. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, remember what I've been telling you all these years. Remember, I made 638 videos, okay, only to 139 subscribers. But it's okay, ladies and gentlemen, because we are the few, as we used to say in the United States Marine Corps, the few, the proud, the Marines. I joined the Marine back in 1985. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we are the few. This is a war, but not a physical war. Our fight is not against flesh and blood. This is a spiritual battle, which we will win with the right knowledge and the right skills that is written in the good book. But of course, remember, this book is the most popular book in the world by design to make you hate it. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, you talk about psychological operations. Well, this is one of them. Making sure that the Bible was the #1 book throughout the whole earth. Only to have the religions completely discouraged and show them that they are a living lie. Everything is a lie in this world. So what took place in Texas, ladies and gentlemen, was a human sacrifice. You may say, wait a minute, Ruby, you're not making any sense. You are some crazy tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist. No, not if you understand how real, if you really understand who's in charge of this planet. If you understand that and know that for a fact, then you will know that was a human. Remember, he loves blood shedding. He lived by the blood. And I'm not talking about the blood that vampires takes from people. He wants a whole hundreds, thousands, millions of human beings dead. And he's working at it. He's working with Operation, you name it, Operation Weather Modifications. We are having weather issues all over the place on this planet. Mexico in the United States, Argentina getting snowflakes that don't melt in the fire because they are aluminum. Everything that God created, the devil wants to turn into a very acceptable thing. So when he materialized himself to the masses, not the Antichrist, but the demons themselves, they're not coming in peace. They're coming to torture humanity. So ladies and gentlemen, do not get it twisted. The United States is the second beast. And every time the devil owns something, he will use it and then he will dispose of it as long as it is human. He hates humanity. This whole world, my friend, is a living lie. Straight up lie in your face. But then again, that's been the psychology. The greatest psychological operation has been the operation of lies. Because that's how we fell from God's grace. This is the only place where you're going to hear this knowledge. By the way, do not forget to see the links that I will share with you here. One of the greatest lies that have been told to specifically to America is that the blacks came from slavery, that they came from Africa, and that's why we call them African Americans. Ladies and gentlemen, as I've been telling you, African American came from the native Indians. In fact, there were black Americans way before, not black American, black people upon this earth, on this side of the earth, called America. Ladies and gentlemen, the Americas, I should say, I'm sorry. There were black people even before Christopher Columbus came. Okay? Before what you call the so-called white man. Even called he's not white. There's not such thing as white in the Bible, except when it is referred to as leprous. All white people are leprous, but then you have the clean leprous, the clean leprosy, and you have the dirty leprosy. The dirty leprosy is the one where you have two different colors upon your skins, and that's obviously that's an infection. It's a skin infection. When all your body is white, that's what you call a clean leprosy. Ladies and gentlemen, and all white people came from Esau. Red. That's why some white people are called what? Redwood. Rednecks. Because they all came, especially the Europeans, came descended from Esau, who was also called Edom. Edom. He's an Edomite. So we are living under an Edomite last generations. Out of all the generations, this is the last generation. And that's why I'm telling you that we are living, and that's in the Bible tells you that we are living in the last days, whether you want to believe it or not. Okay? Now that does not mean the Bible talk against white people. No. In fact, look at me. When I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, my best friend was white. Sometimes I wonder where he's at. His name was Bobby. He used to go to, if he's still living, hopefully he is. He used to attend MS-88 in Park Slope, Brooklyn, on 7th Avenue and 18th Street. There's a junior high school there. Okay? My best friend was white. White as snow. So you see, there's no hate in my heart for no white, for no brown people like we are, Indian people, black people. We are all God's creation. But of course, you must understand and you must accept the fact that God set up the 12 tribes of Israel. And believe me, they are not the Israelites that are in the Holy Land. That's another lie. So anyway, just take a look at the links that I will send you. Remember, the people that are now in the Holy Land, that piece of land was bought from the British. Because remember, the British, they were all over the place. They conquered everything. Even back in 1999, remember? Hong Kong was given back to China. But they used to be owned by the British. They were in India. They were all over the continent of Africa. You understand? So that land was bought in 1948 it was bought out by the Rothschild, the richest family upon this earth. These people got 5 trillion American dollars. $5 trillion, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you can get your head around that number. I mean, just the American debt, national debt, is just 36, going on 30, what, $35 trillion? Imagine, these people own $500 trillion. Okay, and they have their powers and their tentacles all over the earth. They are in BlackRock. They own everything. Now, ladies and gentlemen, another thing that I'm about to tell you, and this is for the MAGA group out there. Do you know where your 4-letter words come from? I know. Make America great again. I know that. Remember when Barack Obama used to say, yes, we can. You know what that means? Hail Satan. Each president has their own saying, their unpopular saying, right? Here in the United States right now is MAGA, Make America Great Again. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Ronald Reagan used that. Bill Clinton used that. Get your facts straight. MAGA means evil, magicians, okay? It is part of the beliefs of the Church of Satan. But you know what MAGA base is going to say. Oh, but this is, no, but we don't mean that. We mean make America great again now. Well, again, let me say it again. Let me say it slowly so that you can get it. Barack Obama used to say, yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. It may sound like a positive, right? It's nice, positive word, uplifting words. But guess what? It means hail Satan. MAGA is, in Spanish, means magician, evil, magic. In Japan means evil. In the Church of Satan it is written Magus. M-A-G-U-S. Ladies and gentlemen, you live in a world of lies. Everything is a lie. And you're going to see the DNA proof that black Americans were here way before Christopher Columbus ever came. And I've been telling you this for years. Well, now I'm going to send you a link. Will you have the guts to look at it? In fact, will you have the guts to look at some of the links that I will send you, which shows you without any shadow of a doubt that Lucifer is in charge. Lucifer, by the way, was his heavenly name. On earth is Satan, the devil, that old serpent called the devil. You understand? The dragon. So what you saw in Texas is the same psychological game carried out by the same spirit that will carry out in the People's Temple back in 1970, 1978 was it? In Jim Jones massacre 968 people in Guyana. The People's Temple started in what? In San Francisco. Then they moved to Guyana, and there they committed suicide with Kool-Aid, cyanide, saturated with cyanide. That's why that's where the old saying comes from: "Do not drink the Kool-Aid." Again, there it is, psychological operation. Now you may say, well, why are they being carried out so strong and so lethal nowadays, Ruben? Because the devil knows his days are numbered. And the two-legged demons that are in political powers, their power is also slipping away. Now, I may not agree with everything. Remember, I may not agree with everything that people talk about in these links, because you know what I touch. For instance, I teach you that there's no such thing as space. I teach you there's no such thing as planets. Planets were simply stars that the Greek Empire named after, right? Saturn, Venus, okay? In fact, that's where astrology came out of, ladies and gentlemen. The use of drugs, the sophisticated use of drugs came out of the Greek Empire. Even the word said it. The word pharmacy came from the pharmakia, which means drugs. And that's where we get the word pharmacy from. Okay, pharmakia means what? Drugs, which means what? Sorcery, witchcraft. Everything have to give homage. Everything and everyone must give homage to the God of this world, that is Satan. That's why if you take a look at your dollar bill, look at the symbols, and those men will explain to you the symbols that I'm about to show you right now, what they mean. And so you will know some of these characters. They are not God-believing people, but hey, not as the way I give it to you, but what they say, they hit it right on the head. Most of it anyway. Okay? And of course, this was brought to you by who? By a man that I really admire throughout the years, Bill Cooper, who was what? Killed by the police. Okay? Because he still believes in America. Ladies and how can you believe in the second beast? America is the second beast. The first beast is the Roman Catholic Church. And believe it or not, this Pope that was chosen, who was born in Chicago, Mr. Robert, that didn't happen by design. That didn't happen by accident or coincidence. There are no coincidences. America and the Roman Catholic Church are going to work together. One, okay? One-on-one. They're going to be working together. But they will also both will be destroyed. Because that's the nature, that's the essence of the devil. He uses you, and then he disposes of you. Remember when they call Martin Luther King to set up, to make the people docile, to make sure that the black people stay cool, and they work this psychological operation. I call it the Martin Luther King psychological operation, or the Civil Rights Movement psychological operation. So you see, what I'm giving to you right now, ladies and gentlemen, is too deep for you to understand. But if you care enough to do your research, even after seeing the links that I will send with you, that I will share with you, ladies and gentlemen, then what's the problem? You want to keep believing in lies and fantasy? In fact, ladies and gentlemen, the Holy Bible is there's another psychological operation. The Holy Bible, the Holy Scriptures, they made sure that the Holy Bible was the #1 books by design throughout the world. And it is. But guess what? The left hand did that, which is the devil, only to what? For you to wake up to the fact that the religious psychological operation was always a lie. It's like having you believing in what? In having you believe in Santa Claus. And once people woke up from that, then, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think happened? What do you think will happen? Atheism sprung. And he has gone, atheism is way up there. It's way up there in the clouds. Thanks for all of them to fall into the religion's operation. Then you got the homosexuality operation. Then you have the Satanism operation. Because remember, the Christendom was born and is a man-made concept inspired by the devil. In fact, the Roman Catholic Church, which is Christendom, started in the year 325 under the Council of Nicaea under the Emperor Constantine. Do your research. That's where Christendom was born. And guess what has it done for humanity? Nothing. You have humanity breaking all God's rules. You got the the LGBTQ plus community. They don't have any ways to go but to worship the devil. That's why you see them with horns. Okay? That's why you see them saying hi to each other like this. Okay? The devil's horn. This is the cornudo sign. This is not, hey, how you doing? No. This is the devil. Remember, the devil speaks through symbols. Okay? In fact, Confucius told you that. The great Chinese philosopher. What did Confucius say? That society are not ruled by laws and rules. They are ruled by what? By symbols. Because once you have the people bewitched through the satanic symbols that are throughout society, even the products that you buy, you see the sun worshiping. You see the sun. You buy Folgers. You see the sun. You have tons of things out there worshiping the demons. You have the iPad. You have the Apple company with the half of the apple being bitten off. But I have news for them. Silly rabbits. There was no such thing. There was no such fruit. Because as first mother and father, they were introduced to a new wisdom, to a new way of life, to a new knowledge. So when the Bible talks about that she ate of it, it meant that she followed it. When he says that she ate of it and she gave it to her husband, even the Bible tells you so. It's wisdom. It's a new alternate false reality that humanity has been living under. And they can do this because they feel they got humanity in their pockets. That's why Israel is getting away with genocide in Gaza. Because it feels like, and they be raping women left and right. Did you know that? Because remember, these people are a bunch of liars. They are not the real. See that? Now you see why the devil says he never loses? Because in all of the religions out there, most of them, what do they teach people? Oh, that the Israelites are God's holy people. Ladies and gentlemen, spoiler alert, these people do not even believe in Christ. These people came from the Ashkenazi little empire, Ashkenazi empire, which are Edom. They are Edomites, the same people that rule this planet. And there's no particular country that is different. Because you may say, oh, what about Russia? Aren't they more reasonable than the West? Yeah, in some parts. But can I tell you a little secret? I mean, it's not a secret, everybody knows this, but just in case you didn't know, do you know that they have a missile, a hypersonic missile called Satan? Oh, I knew that. Do you think that that's by coincidence? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this whole world worship the beast. And America, after it has been used, is in the way. That's why America is being worked from within. And that's why Donald Trump was chosen. So that he can bring his MAGA vibes. I mean, look at the apps, and they keep it distracted with Epstein files. While they are working, seriously working, and speedily working on weather modification and having people killed all over the place. It's not just in Texas. Just watch what they have in store for 2 states, actually 3. California, Chicago, and New York, and then for Florida. Those are the main big chips that they have on their chest to work. And I have family members, most of my family are in Florida, which I go to visit them every now and then. But since they don't follow me, because remember, when you are in this path, your family, your own family will desert you. Because the spirit that's in this world separates family and destroys families. So there's no such thing as a dysfunctional family. There's such a thing as the devil coming in and working the family through his psychological operations. So there's psychological operation for everything. Money, Hollywood, the civil rights movement. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, the AACP is run by Jewish. Did you know that? And people believe, and black people believe that they are those are our people. They stand for us. No, it is a lie. So you got the Democratic Party and you got the MAGA Party. There's no hope for America. Okay, America is being worked, and the reason the Epstein file is never going to be published is because it has everybody in there. The CIA, and you have political figures like Bill Clinton, like the Clintons, okay, like Bill Gates, as we all know, and you got Donald Trump. He's got a whole bunch, or Barack Obama. You got a whole bunch of people there. These people are perfect. And by the way, did you also catch? And I'm leaving you right now. That the president of France, his wife is a man, and the man that did the operation, was killed. I'm gonna send you a link. Please take a look at it. This whole world is a freaking lie. It's evil. It is time for you to wake up, ladies and gentlemen. I love you so much. This is all I have for you now. God bless you. And remember, there's more. We only just begun. Okay? The watchers are watching. Okay? The watchers are watching. And they know their time is up. And they're not wasting any time. May God bless you. Y'all take care. And remember, there's going to be so much more, because as I told you, this year is going to be the year of death, where many, many people will die. I mean, just look at the number in the year. 2, 0, and then you got 2, 5, 9. Ladies and gentlemen, that year, that number is of the devil. May God bless you. That's why he used 9/11. And even that they lied to you. Because, ladies and gentlemen, 9/11 is not where the terrorists happened. It's not the 9th month. It's the 7th. September is the 7th month. This whole world is a labyrinth of lies and psychological operations. And this whole world worship the beast. And is getting the masses ready to take the mark of the beast. Okay? And you talk about, oh no, let's talk about P. Diddy. No, let's talk about the Epstein file. That's to keep you distracted. But it's okay. You want to think that I'm a Team 4 conspiracy theorist? Be my guest. I just got to do what I got to do. Because this is only the beginning. You ain't seen nothing yet, hon. It's about time for you to wake up to the extent and the magnitude of the lie that you have been shown. That's why the black youth in America has been worked like a strung out bitch. That's why they have them killing each other from Chicago to Florida, New York, all over, Philadelphia, all over the place. Because even their story is a lie. But the politician will tell you that because they are compromised. The black politicians are there to make you believe that, hey, we come a long way, which is a lie. They also come up with the word racism, which doesn't exist. Evil exists. May God bless you once again. And that was another psychological operation, by the way, the race card. That's why they were trying to teach it in school. God bless.